Hello guys, it is finally time. You know what we have reached, guys? We have reached the final chapter. My cat is here with us, so I might have to restart this many times because it is Chubby Goober. It's not that chubby, but I had to restart the last chapter because of him. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into Mastermind Rise of Anarchy. Written by Clouds. My head in the clouds, not coming down. Read by me, MHA. Chapter 50. Ambush. Hitoshi lifted slightly. He didn't drop into a fighting stance yet, but part of Aizawa's stealth training had been learning how to get ready for a fight, while outward appearing casual. It came in handy in moments like these, where the threat level was still unknown. The kid approaching him from front didn't look like anything special, but Hitoshi knew better than to judge based off first appearance. The kid was around Hitoshi's same age, and sure looked vaguely familiar, even though Hitoshi knew they'd never spoken before. He was pretty sure he'd remember meeting a kid with large beehive for a hairdo. Reluctantly, Hitoshi took his eyes off the leader and glanced to the henchmen. The two boys were coming from behind. They were physically smaller than the leader, but that didn't mean that they weren't a threat. Mastermind has proven that. One of them had large round glasses that glinted ominously in the fluorescent light of the hallway and carried a laptop under one arm, as the other looked almost like a male version of Jiro, except for the lack of earphone jack and the swirls on his cheeks that were either drawn on or had something to do with his quirk. Hitoshi couldn't tell. Like beehive hair, the two seemed eerily familiar, but Hitoshi couldn't place them. Beehive hair was the first to move, sticking out his hand for Hitoshi to shake. "Hello, Hitoshi Shinso. We have a potion for you." Right to the point. Hitoshi glanced down at the offered hand, but didn't take it. "Does that usually work for you?" "It's called an elevator pitch." Beehive hair smiled. "And yes, it's designed to." "Great." Hitoshi activated his quirk and turned to the other two. "Now, would either of you care to get to the point?" "That depends." Whirly Cheeks glared at him. "Are you going to brainwash us too?" "Yep." Hitoshi knew it was petty, but he really didn't appreciate being ambushed, so he brainwashed Swirly Cheeks as soon as he finished talking. "Hey, you guys are the ones that cornered me, remember? I think I'm completely justified to fight against three guys that could be villains for all I know. We're not." Round glasses looked like he was about to have a confession, but Hitoshi didn't even let him finish his sentence. "That's all of them? Pro tip. Next time you consider giving someone an elevator pitch, maybe don't. Sneaking up and ambushing people really isn't the best way to win friends and influence people. Doesn't inspire a whole lot of trust, you know." Hitoshi strode down the hallway, disappeared around the corner, and was long gone before he dropped his control. "Ray?" Inka's voice was barely a squeak as she looked in the same scene as before. "I don't think this. Are you sure this is actually helping kids?" Ray smiled, as if they hadn't just finished walking into a warehouse with Magni from the League of Villains standing in front, handing out canned goods. "Of course, who better to help than children who feel accepted than someone society has rejected twice over?" "She's a murderer," Mitsuki hissed. "Oh, so is your son. Don't be picky." Ray waved her hand as she strode straight towards the front table. "Thanks a snack. I brought my friends like promised." Inko froze and shot a helpless look towards Fuyumi, but she grabbed her hand and gave her a comforting smile. It's not as bad as it looks. She really is trying to help people. Mitsuki looked at her incredulously. Who, your mom or Meg? Fuyumi shrugged. Both. Inko glanced towards the front of the room, only to realize that Ray was walking back towards them, this time with Magni hot on her heels. She half considered turning around and running away, but before she got the chance, Magni scooped both her and Mitsuki into a huge hug. Inka's back popped as she got squeezed tightly, and Magni kept them there for a long moment before setting them down and stepping back with a wide grin. Well, hello there. It's certainly nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Oh, Inka didn't know really how to respond to that. I didn't know you'd known Ray for that long. Magni laughed loudly. Not too long, but your son has always spoke really high of you. He really loves you, you know. Inko forced a laugh. Oh, I am not too sure about that, but thank you. Magni gave her a confused look. Oh, what's there not to be sure about? We told him for months he should move out and become villain full time. But he'd already said he'd miss you too much. He was happy pretending to be some quirkless weakling just so he could still have you in his life. That's gotta count for something, right? Inka realized that her jaw was hanging open and quickly snapped it shut. I didn't know that. Magni gave one shoulder shrug. Mastermind doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. Just his way of protecting himself. He should have protected himself more, Inka whispered. I wish he'd moved out then. She was jolted from her thoughts when Reg put a hand on her shoulder. We've all failed our sons, Inko. There's nothing we can do about that except for move on. But, nah, Ray's right. Mitsuki gave her a sad smile. We can't help what we did. This whole thing is really supposed to be about going forward, not moving back. What a great... That's a good attitude. Magni clapped her hands on Mitsuki's back, making her stumble slightly. Your kid went villain too, didn't he? I remember Ray saying something about that. Yeah, Mitsuki grimaced. Vigilantism and murder charges, so far. Magni frowned. That's not a very long rap sheet. Mitsuki shook her head. It's long enough. Magni shrugged. To each their own, I guess. But you're not here just to shoot the breeze. So let's get to work. This place is half support group, half food bank. Those who are good at dumpster diving, like us, keep us supplies and teach the others when they can. When they can't. We just make sure everyone is fed and that nobody has to steal to eat. You can start by helping us hand out food. Nothing too crazy. How does that sound? That Inko looked to Ray, who was nodding encouragingly. That sounds doable. Aizawa hadn't texted him back, but Hitoshi knew that he was expecting a report. So he went to his apartment after escaping the ambush. Maybe he should have stayed around and actually asked the three students who they were. But he'd been more concentrated on getting out of there than anything else. He knocked once and there was a long pause before Aizawa opened the door. Hitoshi could see Eri behind him, coloring in the kitchen, and she gave him a little wave. He waved back, his attention turned back to Aizawa, who had one eyebrow raised in question. The meaning was clear enough. Explain. Hitoshi shrugged. It was just some students. They tried to corner me, but I used my quirk and got away. Aizawa nodded in approval. Did they hurt you at all? Eri jumped out of her seat and ran to the door. You're hurt? Hitoshi chuckled and ruffled her hair. Nah, they didn't even try. They just wanted to give me an elevator pitch or whatever. But I figured if they were going to try to corner me, then I didn't have to listen. Oh. Aries frowned in consideration. What's an elevator pitch? Like throwing an elevator like a baseball doesn't seem very easy or safe. Aizawa rolled his eyes as he ushered Hitoshi inside and closed the door. It's not literally throwing an elevator, Eri. It's a saying that an idea is brief enough that you could cover up all the main points in the time of an elevator ride. Unfortunately for these kids, Hitoshi wasn't trapped in an elevator with them. He turned to Hitoshi. It sounds like you ran into business students. They're always a bit more aggressive than they need to be. Hitoshi nodded. Yep, that sounds about. There was a knock on the door. Right. Are you expecting anyone else? Aizawa scoffed. I'm never expecting anyone. It's probably just Mike. He opened the door and blinked when instead of President Mike, there was the 3 business students from earlier. They looked out of breath, probably searching the entire school. But for him, beehive hair gleamed triumphantly when he saw Hitoshi. Hello, my name is Akari Hito Hachi Osu. Let's start over. That's all. That is the end. I'm not sure if there's any more or if that was just it, but yeah, I'm a little surprised. Maybe I just downloaded the wrong thing. Or maybe that's just the ending. Whatever, it's fine. I love this. I love this fic so much. And I can't wait to keep reading more fics by Clouds. This was my first fic I started, and then I think I've listened to a few more that I do want to mention her because she has also been a huge influence in my decision to start podficking. My Lost and Found, if you guys listen to any of her podfics, she is amazing. She can also write really well, her series. But yeah, if there are any other fics that you guys really enjoyed or would want podfic, please let me know and I can try that too. It looks like this fic is finally done. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I don't know when I'll see you again. It'll probably be one of the new music things I'm working on, or it might be the the art. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace out.